We don't want this. We'll get yelled at by the algorithm.
Do you need a free, easy way to capture your gameplay?
No.
Introducing Outplayed. Record anything on your PC.
Refreshing everything. Hopefully that worked. Dating Visual Studio. I don't know if it will, but Lord Heavenly Father, please have mercy on me today. Have mercy on me today. Sounds like some sappy Chinese game music. Telling me. You're right, Streets of Rage. Now, hopefully, this will build if I don't lose my mind first. I might just lose my mind. Type L in chat if you think I'm gonna lose my mind today. Type W if you think I'm going to restrain myself and be this easygoing man that you know me to be, you know? Yeah, that's what we see. That's what I like to see. I like the good energy, Al. I love the good energy, man. I'm sorry, this is a slapper, dude. What is this? The main theme? It does smacketh. It does not lacketh the smacketh. Hey, it built. It built. Let's go. Let's go. That's a W. That is a W. So, how's everything going with the physical art assets that you're creating, Al? Hold up, I'm getting a call. My mic is off. There we go. Oh my gosh. I'm nowhere and everywhere at once. Thank you for sticking around, Al. I really appreciate it, man. I know this is not the most invigorating content. Staring at the Be Right Back scene for 30 minutes, then staring at Unreal Engine compiling for another 40. My mic being turned off. I just appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for being a good friend and a good viewer. Even though I see a lot more than that. I see you as a good buddy. See you as a good buddy. All right, let's see touch release, and it's still not there. I think it's because we need to set up something that all that for this. I mean, to be honest, I think it worked out to our benefits because actually, let's try this. Let's try this and see what happens. No, we don't want that. No, we don't want that. We want to turn that off. Move. Move. At least you guys had some pretty good jazz music going on for a while. Boom, 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 boom. I kind of want to listen to the Streets of Rage. And it worked. No issues. Awesome. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. It could have been like me restarting my computer. It could have been me updating my Visual Studios, but I am happy it worked. So one thing I do know that we have that we can get events on is our health. And I'm actually going to turn this down a bit because I feel like that's a little too loud for my baby eardrums. My baby eardrums can't handle it. Let's look at actor components. We're going to look at the health component. So here we just have 2 multicast delegates. Dynamic multiclass delegate. Declare dynamic multicast delegate. So these actually work for some strange, weird, apparent reason. You know, we have these 2 events here, and it's because we have them assignable. That is the difference. That is absolutely the difference. We have these as U properties. Printable and we're gonna call these input events, and these are already public, so we don't have to make them that. Praise the Holy Father, man. Praise the Holy Father. Today is good, man. I can't complain. Like, I kind of woke up, it was stale. So, I mean, I guess the most I'm getting out of this, the small, tiny little message that the Lord is allowing me to give is that don't... Wow. The day will get better, guys. Compile conflict instance of Unreal build tool is already running. What is going on? The build tool is already running. I guess I had to wait. But the main message here is don't base your entire day just off the beginning. Give the Lord some time to work. Bankrupt baby. Oh, do you hear? Is my daughter talking about being broke in the background? She's playing I actually have to make sure she's playing some good stuff, but she's playing Roblox with her cousin. Let's look up input event and see if it's there. Touch, release. And this, since it's dealing with blueprints, I feel like it's something I might have to hot reload. I mean, we're not getting the hot reload here. Yeah, we'll be streaming for a tad bit today, probably till about 3. So, just hanging out, chilling. Gonna try to get this camera up and running at some point. But I'll have to get used to staring at the camera again and be like, say things while you're looking at the camera. Watching this guy do a thing on Instagram while I'm waiting. I'm trying to figure out, oh, he's just making a literal mold. That's ridiculous. All that work for a little mold. Pretty cool. Kind of weird braceling. Braceling. Thinking of ring and bracelet. Let's see if that's what it was, and that wasn't what it was. So what did we do different with here? Blueprint assignable. They need to be blueprint assignable. Blueprintable. Get anywhere. You need to be blueprint assignable. So at least we know why we're unable to do them the way that we want them. And at least we know I was completely wrong. I was completely wrong. Don't be one of those, oh, cartoons are all PG-13 parents. No, I'm not. Trust me. There's stuff I won't let her watch, like the Has-Been Hotel or whatever it's called. I have to pay attention to the YouTube videos she's watching now because of people's AI content they're making. And it's a lot of stuff that, like, content, like she watches that Mikey thing, but like people are doing like weird stuff with it, and I'm just thinking in my head, like, why are people so corrupt and weird that they would go and take like children content and do that to it for views? Like, these people are just the worst. They're the scum of the planet, man. I'm telling you. It's absolutely disgusting. Like, find something better to do with your time. Like, you make all this money, but you're really just, in essence, broke. You're broke spiritually, bro. Makes me angry. Yeah, touch detected. The only thing is I'm like, why do we need this? You know? Why do we need to bind the events? Right? That's the most interesting aspect to me. Like, these things should already be occurring, right? They don't do this on, like, we don't have to bind events when it comes to, like, actor components, and I don't know why that is. But, like, if we go to my health component and we go to the H, you'll see we just have blueprint assignable on here. And, you know, we don't have to do anything in the actual, like, if I go to the character, if I can freaking find it. Like if we go to Judah here, right, you know, we have an inventory component with this multicast delegate on it, right? I can go in here and I can do this, or here, it's already been added, but we can essentially add these things like a knocked out event, and that's it. We don't, you know, and we can communicate easily. There's no issues with that. But when it comes to creating something on the actual character, we have to bind that event for some weird reason, and I don't know if it's because of something I'm doing in here, right? It looks like maybe I'm doing something in my health, in the health component. Let's look in the health component CPP and see if it's not something I'm doing in there. Squid. But no, I have to watch what she's doing all the time because I have to make sure she's like playing appropriate games. Like the other day I was on there and there was like this weird, Lord help me. There's some weird game. So it's like I'm over here like trying to configure her account so she can't look at certain content, and it's just like, why are you got these like grown adults making this content on Roblox? Like full grown adults, dude. Knowing that they're kids, it's like it upsets me so much. And then you have these people on Twitch who freaking basically are, you know, I don't even want to get into it, man. I don't want to kick. But, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, I pray that the Lord gets rid of these people from these platforms because they're not doing anything for society. They're just corrupting it and destroying everything in their path for gain, for self-gain. And it's absolutely despicable, dude. They don't care about what they do as long as it benefits them. Makes me want to grab things and squeeze them until they break. But yeah, I'm looking to see, I'm thinking like if anything, it had to be something that I'm doing when I'm constructing this. And it doesn't look like I'm doing anything besides creating, I mean, I do have on Earth. I mean, I do have events, so these are already binded to. I'm just trying to look at the difference between what I'm doing here that allows me to do that. And these are like blueprint callable health events, on hurt. So like if I go to and type on hurt, you know, I'm literally just calling this. So, I don't know. It must be something to do with just how they're handled internally. I don't know other than that. That's the most I can get out of my code. So much. I guess I should start praying for those guys instead of praying to be removed. Pray that God handles them in a peaceful way, but that's very hard when you have a kid and these guys just don't care. Touch detected, broadcast. Yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. I guess that's all I'm really going to be able to do. But you know, now that we have these things, we can essentially dictate whether we're using, we got a switch, input input type. I wonder what those guys are using. They use a switch. We're gonna have to open up that now. Open crop out. Lord knows I need the assistance. Because I don't know how they're creating this switch that can take in inputs. Ah, that's what it's doing. It's taking in an input. So it passes out that input or that key. And they use that. So thumb tip, ring tip, distal, intermediate, E hand key point. That's interesting. I wonder what that's. 4. Originally, I tried doing my own thing with this by taking in the mouse input and then figuring out the distance between the initial click and the left to get like a input value between 0 and 1, right? But that's based off of 2 taps. I think I could switch it to, you know, 1 tap to get a better idea or a better movement system, but we genuinely had something here where we would get the average of like 2 clicks. So if I click here and here, it would get like this input here, and then if I slid, you know, maybe I need to get the average position. Yeah, it looks like we're doing that too. Then we get the average position of that. I wish I could draw UI on the screen to actually indicate where these things are. It'd be a lot easier to figure out that. But what we ended up doing is taking a normal. And I guess that doesn't even work either because... No, we take that and then we minus that from that, and that gives us a direction. I think I'm just going to switch it to 1 and then use that to move with 1 touch. But the general idea is if I click here and here, you know, this would get the point here. And if I move these, right, to here, we'll say, it would get that. And then it would essentially get the average of these and this. And it would get the normal. And that would essentially... It was supposed to move in that direction. However, there's some caveats to this. And I think now... what we need to do is do like a click here, create like a radius, have like an invisible radius around the click. But what I'm doing in blueprints right now is setting up for like the difference between how to handle stuff with touch or gamepad. Accumulator! Caught you live. You did catch me live, my friend. Better than catch me not alive. Oh, yeah. Would you catch me if I fall? I don't know how that came to my head, but it did. I might start handling this in BP, though, when it comes to the movement. But I want this all to be around, like, you know, I want this to be, like, drawing a line here, like, anywhere between 0 and 1. 1 being, like, the fastest movement. But then you think, like, it's not about how fast we're moving. We just want to move at a normalized speed in any direction that the player's like trying to move in. Game math, my favorite, for real. Not really, not my favorite. Actually, I do like it. Funny enough, I've been on Brilliant trying to do stuff.
The Tortured Poets Department, the anthology on CD and vinyl, and the official Eras Tour book available at Target starting November 29th.
Only at Target.
Nice, keep learning. Is this for a mobile joystick or something? No, so the best way I can describe it is if we go to my project, which we're working on the base building aspect now. I'll kind of just give you a rundown of the game really quick. Accumulator. I'm working on the base building aspect. Like I have, you know, drag, you know, we can drop a building, we can build the building. If we don't have enough materials, then, you know, we can't build. But from here, this is all whip, by the way, obviously. But from here, we can go to the platform world. You know, this will all get worked out more in the future. But this is where players come, beat up stuff, complete events, get resources, right, in their inventory. This doesn't work in this viewport for some weird reason. But yeah, we can enter into there, and then when we exit, you know, we're back in spot, and you can see that we have this going on. Now the big issue is moving around, right? In the regular platform world, we have this that we can move around with, but I don't want to move around like that. I want to be able to like click and drag and move around. If that makes sense. So I do have something set up already for movement, but there's a lot of difficulties with it. For one, it's hard to control it, and it's kind of stinky because I built it off of a 2-tap, like you use 2 fingers to drag. So I think I'm gonna essentially change this to a 1-click instead of a 2-click, right? Oh, awesome, man. We got some survival gameplay along with the platforming. The dash midair looks so smooth, by the way. Nice work. Thank you. And there's more ironing out that needs to occur. So if you think it looks smooth now, it's going to look even smoother in the future. Yeah, there's a lot going on. And I guess there's some survival aspects to it. But it's more about just cultivating something that makes somebody want to go into the platform world, right? If you're just into the platform world, then it's more story based, but when we move it like this, it makes it a little bit different. I think it makes it, yeah, a lot different actually. There's a different motivating factor rather than, oh, what's the next piece of the story puzzle? It's more about like creating your base, you know, fulfilling the desires and needs of the people that could possibly be there. Crafting things, stuff of that nature, right? So right now I'm just working on this base building aspect of the game. This is dynamically built, right? This island, it gets dynamically built. For instance, if I were to come in here, I want to get like trees and stuff in here eventually, but for now we're not really focused on that. We're focused on the movement. If I go into, where is it? Unreal Projects. Into here, Judah, and go into the save games, and I delete this. Sorry, delete that. It should build an entirely different. Like you can already see it's different now, but essentially it builds a whole nother little island for the player. So every island will be different. If I want to add height and stuff, I'll have to do some other things, but that's pretty much it for now. Yeah, definitely some improvements we have to make. But I'm going to try first turning this to a 1-click. See what happens if we do 1-click instead of 2 clicks. Procedural island noise. Yeah, we'll see how noise it is on the phone. I'm a little worried about it. People say the procedural works with the phone, but I'm still skeptical. But I guess I can try it and test out the performance. Then it's like, how far can I go down? I don't know how far I can go down before like the game tank. But yeah, right now we're taking 2 positions and getting an average position between the 2 taps. And I believe this is, yeah, something that I'm doing here. We're giving the scale, and then we're dividing everything by the scale. But could be us scaling that's messing things up, but who knows. I definitely know we need to scale. So how's everything going with your project, Accumulator? How are you been? How have you been? I'm just a skeptical receptacle. Don't talk to me that way, okay? That's rude. This guy, man. Trying to make me feel uncomfortable in my own chat. Ridiculous. I'm joking, by the way. You never know. Original touch locations. So we have original touch locations, but what I'm gonna do is make an original vector here. You know, I can't really do that because it's active touch. Where's touch location? Original touch location. Original active locations. Which is right here. I could have sworn. Yeah, I was gonna say that's like a you don't want to work for me, you little stinker. Where is this at? Touch location equals touch location. Yeah, very hard to speculate on performance for these things, exactly. It's something I'll have to... It's like you have to test out on multiple devices, so there's going to be a lot of play testing, we'll just say that much. We're definitely going to have a play testing period with other devices as well. They're just going to have to know going in, like, hey, this might just break on your phone, because I am completely oblivious to how this mobile development in this sense. It's mobile tougher than PC to make. I keep wanting to make one, but not so sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I was like, let me torture myself with mobile devices, let alone on Unreal Engine. But yeah, I'm gonna add procedural generation in both aspects, not only the base building aspect of the game, but the platforming aspect as well. So the idea is that you generate a platform world, and you can pick and choose between these platform worlds to join or to enter into and do stuff. There'll be more revealed on that later, but for now, it's like there's a lot of work ahead, and I'm just trying to work on the fundamental like mechanics and learn Unreal Engine at the same time. You also have limitations on what you can do with physics rendering and some costly algorithms. Yeah, that's why a lot of my stuff, there's not going to be a lot of physics. Not too much. Probably no physics at all. I'm not going to have like explosions and things flinging around. I'll have to like Houdini a bunch of stuff. And when I say Houdini, not the actual software, but there's going to definitely be some like illusion going on in this game. Yeah, that's what running and see how that matches with modern phones are capable of. I'll have to look into that more when I get into a towards like the actual point of feeling like, yeah, I can test this. Originally, I just wanted to test the platformer aspect, but I was like, there's so much more to the game. Like, I want to test these things out as well before I just jump into something, right? So I decided I'm gonna hold off on that. Then I got very overwhelmed, so I started working on some game jams and a side business that I'm working on right now. But Line of Judah still being worked on. I'm just taking my sweet time. sadly. I wouldn't say taking my sweet time. I'm trying to not let the project overwhelm me, because I know it's detrimental. It's one of the reasons why I had to step away from it. Like, I'm not trying to overload my mind with stuff. I'm just trying to take it one day at a time. But yeah, we're gonna take the original touch location, and we're actually going to do that. We're going to take the original touch location, we're going to equal that to the touch location, and then when we move, we're essentially going to do what we're doing in here, where we're seeing like how many active touches we have. If it's 2, then we're probably going to be moving. We have a distance here where, like, you know, essentially once you've gone past this distance, it's considered the person moving and not just clicking around. But what we're gonna have to do instead, and I'm gonna take active touches. Sorry, I'm just gonna get rid of these. Current touch locations, touch detected. We'll leave that there. There's a lot of zombie code in this, and it's because I'm still figuring it out. We're not gonna need the distance, I think. We might need the distance. But let's just go ahead and do that as well. Right. I'll leave that there for now, but we're gonna get a float. Sorry, we don't want to do that. We're gonna put the original. Apparently I can't spell original. Or it's just being weird and doesn't want to give me that. It's not using its intelligence. But other than that, how's everybody been? By the way, I'm loving the Streets of Rage music. Yeah, I'm loving it too, man. I was like listening to some like regular like N64 nostalgia music, and I was like, man, why is this all such? It's all tiring music. Like, it's all like calm, and I just couldn't do it. So I saw Street of Rage, and I was like, yeah, let's switch to it. It's got to be upbeat, right? It's a fighting game. It's not really a fighting game. There's more to it. It's like platform fighting. I don't know what you would call it. Action, platform action. What is the genre of this game? That's interesting. Genre. It's a beat 'em up. Wow. So I could just make genres. Beat 'em up. The beat 'em up genre. You're gonna draw now to finish a commission. All right. I mean, you could stay lurking if you want, you know, draw. Are you gonna share it in Discord? By the way, guys, if you haven't joined the Discord, please resuscitate it and bring it back to life. You know, join the Discord. Look at my bald head. You know, join the Discord. Talk. But yeah, we will need the touch location, and just for I'm just gonna do this very slowly, and because I don't want this to stop every time I move, I'm going to I'm gonna print this out. What is it for? Is it for? No, for floats. Yeah. And we're gonna go like this, and we are going to say distance. We're just gonna log this out instead of warning. What is the other one called? Vlog? Whatever. I've cursed myself. I'll just leave it as a warning. That way it'll print out as red. That's why I switched to retro wave. It's groovy. Yeah, I was doing synth wave, man. I got like a lot of synth wave stuff on here. Castlevania synth wave. But it's very hard to find something that's upbeaty. You can hear the stars spinning in this music after you've been beat 'em up. All right, Al, you come up with a lot of good ones, but I don't think that was your best one, buddy. And Synthwave is the best. Hey, Hectic Games, thank you for following. We appreciate you. Oh, it's the best. And no barking at me, dude. No barking. Barking up the wrong. Why is this? Okay, I was really scared. I've had like a lot of technical difficulties today, so I was really afraid that was gonna do something dumb. So let's go ahead and play, and as you can see, we're getting the logs out in the bottom left hand. Let's see what happens when we actually go to do some UI stuff, though. I mean, that's working, and it's not considered a... I mean, in the distance. Wug wug, sick'em boy. Wug wug wug. Carl Casey has good stuff for retro synthwave. Carl Casey. I have to look it up before because I don't want to like get copyright strike, which is what my life looks like. I have to listen to this, I think, off stream. Is this all his personal stuff? But yeah, we got a distance, so we can... I'm gonna go ahead and... What am I doing? The action ready. Press escape to cancel. Gotta get the action ready? Really? There's too many lines of code. I don't know why. I gotta update my PC or something, because I've been having it. You know what it is? It's probably because I have two projects running. I've been like looking at this crop out simulator and kind of mimicking things so I can, you know, primarily learn how to procedurally generate a base while drawing textures on it. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they're doing in this game that, I don't know, it's helped me learn a couple of things about Unreal Engine, I'll say that much. But I'm not trying to copy it, you know, hand for hand. We figured out how to add our own little texture, which I need to add some micro variation to. I'd like to figure out how to dynamically unwrap this so we can actually get, you know, this sand texture I have wrapped around, and then I can actually use a texture instead of a color. That way we can get some color in these rocks here. But to be quite frank, I think I'm going to want to change the sand, make it a little bit thicker, a little bit more randomized. We created these all in all these textures we created in Substance Designer, by the way. That's the one I can use. So you've heard it before. Take a screenshot. Charlie! Hey, Charlie! He's back, dude. I prayed that you'd be back, man, because Safe was in here the other day talking about how he missed you. So I was like, you know what, Safe? I'll pray for his return then. I'll pray that he'll return. And here you are. I need to screenshot this. Boom. I'm gonna show it to Safe, dude. I'm gonna let him know. I'm gonna let him know how the Holy Father flows. Holly. Yeah, I should smack myself upside the head. Hey, how's it? It's going great, man. A lot of work. How's it going for you? What are you up to? And it's not even... Look. What is it? I've obviously commented this out, and it's still being stinky. Look. What is wrong? We're gonna exit out of this. I think it's causing a lot of unnecessary like performance problems. Boom. Yep, go to his website, White Bat Audio. His music is free to use, but no pressure. What is it called? White Bat Audio? White Bat Audio. The Empress. Confirm channels. I already confirmed my subscription to Charlie. To Carl. His name's Carl. I was thinking of Charlie.
Spiraling over YouTube banning.
Don't you think it's... First of all, let me... I've seen this 1,000 times. Don't you think that, like, for a channel that YouTube doesn't want ad blockers...
Like, chill, guys.
They don't want ad blockers, but they have an ad on ad blockers.
It's a free Chrome extension that's actually made by
like how
of honey, and it basically...
That's just hilarious, man. Safe makes me feel unsafe. He does, but don't say that when he's here, okay? He's still trying to come to that realization. But hey, Charlie, how you been, man? What have you been up to? What happened to the YouTube videos? You were posting them. I was stoked. Everything was going gravy. And I'm so confused because I guess Ryder's just gonna be Ryder. Like I can't even tab. Tab is getting the action ready. Okay. What we're gonna do is that's all saved. We're gonna exit out of this. Okay. We're gonna exit out of everything. I'm just gonna reopen Ryder. Yeah. Safe was in here today too, man. He's a chill guy. Just a kid, he's learning. I mean, all the stuff is stuff now. We will have to add that, though. That's probably why I was freaking out. I was like, why is this guy that's using me so stupid? I quit game dev and returned to change the way I'm learning. I'm sorry about leaving your server without any warning. You're fine, man. You're on a journey, bro, and you're learning. You know, you don't have to apologize, dude. Just enjoy the journey, man. You know, come and leave as you want. It's fine. The community is always here. You know, I get it, man. Life has its turns. There's things that we learn, and there's struggles that we go through. Yeah, we all are, man. There's always going to be problems that you're trying to straighten out, you know? That's life, you know? It's something you got to get used to. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's always going to be an issue, whether you're rich or poor, you know? It's just how it is, man. Nah, I just kind of remember him from last time I was here, which was a long ago, unfortunately. Yeah, but like I said, the community's always here. I just appreciate you guys tuning in. You know, there's nothing wrong with finding something else, looking at that, and, you know, coming back. Nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong with this. It's returning void. Return of the Mac. This is kind of whack. Ah. That's why. Yeah, life always throws some cranks in the gears. Yes, it does. And just when you feel like you got one problem fixed, another one arises. Every once in a while, you'll get like a good 3 or 4 days where everything's just chill. But that's just the reality of the situation. There's always going to be a mountain to climb. But, you know, as long as you have faith in the journey and a positive outcome and God taking care of you, you'll be fine. Yeah. But other than that, how's your art going, man? I hope you haven't put that on the back burner. That's a valuable skill, man. If you're good at it, don't, you know, retreat from it. You don't have to work in game dev, you know, to make art. I have problems every day. Same, dude. Same. Like the other day, this thing was trying to come at me, and I was like, "Bro, what are you?" And it was just like, I was like, "The name and blood," and then it was like, you know. And then I freaking, you know, I roundhouse kicked it in the dome, and it flew into another dimension. It was dope. Are you self-taught? I can put myself to go to school for game dev. Seems like a lot of work. Laugh out loud. No need to add more stress on my plate. I mean, it really depends. I am self-taught, and I've gone to school for game design. I didn't go to school for game development. I went to school for game design. So, you know, the writing aspect, that aspect where you design a game, paper prototypes and stuff like that. Of course, there's development lessons involved, but I was game developing far before I took those classes. So I'd like to consider myself a balance between self-taught and taught. And to push that even further, with the way technology evolves, it's just always going to be a self-taught type of thing. But I can't take full credit for it, because a lot of the things that I'm doing in here is from me just looking at what other people are doing. And this is in regard to development, like how you know, like the poly count and stuff like that, programming, yada, yada. But I will say, like, the benefit that you get from going to school with it is learning how to work in a team, which is something that's very hard to do. Because every team has different team members, and different team members can, you know, means they have different personalities. So it's about learning how to adjust and work with different types of people to create, you know, something that everyone can enjoy. But yeah, I mean, there's, like in Al's case, there's a lot of people that have made really good games without any classes. So don't let that deter you from not making games. Like, if you want to make a game, man. Like, all the information there is online. I originally wanted to get a good degree and work with other people in the industry. But I'll be real with you, it's really hard for me to work with some people in the industry because they're so particular. They take things, a lot of people from what I've experienced they've taken things like out of context a lot of times. So it's like, it's difficult for me because I just want to create and I want to think about that creation. I don't want to think about all the intricacies of like communicating with others that are involved with it, which is why I'm a little bit more indie, because you know, it's really hard to talk to people, man, for me. But some people are really good at it. I just ain't. I really am not. People get offended too easily, yeah. I was talking to someone about, you know, like how I was like, you know, I've never seen something with the combination of input types that I have, and that really offended them. And I get it. Like, yeah, was I being probably ignorant about some of the other things that could be potentially online? Yeah, but at the same time, like, as somebody who really loves game development, I want to try my best to like add like a mark in there. So I try to find innovative ways to do things, even if it's just as simple as like a combination of like input types. But I don't want to live in this little corner where I'm like, everything's fleshed out already, everything's already at its peak. There's no point in trying to look outside of the box, because I feel like that does take away from the innovation which built game development. You know, like the fact that, you know, games started off from being on a little Sega Genesis to where they are now, you know, like the intricacies, the systems that have been involved up to this point. I guess I'm not explaining it well, at least in my opinion, but what I'm getting at is, you know, if there's no innovation, then I don't know, I think maybe we should all give up now. Like, everybody doesn't want to do that. Like, we got to try different things. Can't be afraid of trying either, you know. Yeah, programming first is really nice. Yeah, programming is. All right, see you later. You leaving already, Charlie? What the heck, dude? What the heck, bro? My game I'm working on is putting me through a bunch of obstacles. Yeah, I can level design, but I can't code worth crap. But it's coming along. My first game was super simple, but I'm really pushing myself for a bigger game. Yeah, that's awesome though. That's the sad truth, is like, if we want to grow and develop, we have to put ourselves in uncomfortable positions. And sadly, for individuals like us who are independent developers, like, we don't just wear one hat, we wear a multitude of hats, and that means we have to learn a multitude of skill sets. And because of that, it just adds to the weight of what we're actually doing. Like, we're making a game, right? We're doing the art, we're doing the programming, we're doing the cinematics, we're doing the animations, the sound effects. Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on. Anyways, Charlie, you have a good one, man. It depends though. If you like art, learn programming where necessary. I mean, there's scripting, there's lesser forms of programming as well. Like C++ is really one side. You got it. You can do a lot with just good art and some very basic game dev. Yeah, some very basic mechanics, which is what I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, maybe there's something I can do that's very basic, easy to program, and all you need is like some all right looking art, and you know, you can essentially make something great, but meh. It's like a very hard thing to figure out. It's probably, and the funniest part, it's because that like doing something like that is so simple that it's hard to figure out, because we as humans, we overcomplicate things already, you know. So we always think the solution to the problem is more complex than it really is. And dude, yeah, I mean, I would say that there's lesser forms of programming, you know, like scripting. It's not like you're, I don't know, working back end stuff. Front end is typically easier than back end. But you're right, maybe there we go. I've made someone mad already. I'm not saying Al's actually mad, but there's probably someone watching this right now that's like, who the hell does this guy think he is? I'm like, oh man, there's not enough room in this world to be stupid, is there? So we want to get the distance, and then we want to actually move based on the distance. So in here, we just checked if we were, you know, above a certain threshold. But I kind of don't want to do that. Anyways, we're going to copy this here and post this here, and we're just going to take the current touch location, and we're going to minus it from the original touch location, and that's going to give us a direction, which we can then, you know, normalize, and then we can broadcast that and do all the other stuff we're doing. Don't be a discriminatory. Very true. I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'll make a 30-minute YouTube video on it after this live stream. I did it again. That's what it will be called. I personally always tend to plan too far ahead with the programming. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if that's a bad or good thing, you know? Like, you can plan ahead, but there's obviously going to be stuff that we didn't quite think of when we were drawing all those things out, right? Which is why I try not to do that, because I'm like, oh man, I had this expectation, and that expectation was completely blown out of the water. So it kind of deters you away from doing that, but it works when it works. No, I'm not moving. I should be moving. Move event. The move event. Move event. I bet you I have a move event in the basic character for this. Base scene character. Yes. Yes. I will be very discriminatory. And then that'll just be all my content. Apology videos. Sorry guys for yesterday. I pulled out in front of somebody on the freeway or on the intersections of these streets that I shouldn't have. I was too aggressive, and I apologize for that. But just find a way to elongate it. Move. We got a move event. Overview move. So we took the move out, huh? Why did I take that out? It makes no sense. The move direction. So we're applying the speed here. What did I do? I made an F vector. That's what I did. Well, I could just do this. Instead of doing like all this extra work that I'm stupidly doing, guys, right? I can just copy and paste this, and then do this, and that'll release this. I'm gonna compile though. Apology videos, guys. Buy some fidget spinners. It'll keep you busy. Yeah. Yeah, you'll definitely need some of those to deal with this type of content. You know, I love game development, but I will say it does not leave like for breathtaking content. It's very slow, very tedious. You know, there's some things that you want to be methodical, but I don't know. I don't know about this, guys. So with that being said, I do appreciate you guys being here and hanging out, chatting. Hey, let's go. Look at that. Look at that. Look how freaking big my little brain is. Look how big my little brain is, guys. I bet y'all are freaking dancing around in your chairs right now like little penguins just shuffling. Feels weird though. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop for some strange reason. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to make a base scene character H. We're gonna have to make a function that gets called when we stop. Trying to think where I'm gonna plug into that at. Public base scene character. It's good for hanging out and hearing how people are working on their projects. Yeah, I definitely probably gonna get a fidget spinner just because I'm an idiot, dude. I have ADHD so bad, it's horrible. Like how I sit here and even do this, dude, is just, it's a blessing, man. I really do thank God that he gives me the patience to work with this. But I think it's because there's so much involved into it. When I get like bored with one thing, I can just move to another thing, you know? There's so much involved in it that it makes it easy for me to do that. Where is overview at though? This is base scene. I need base building player, my base, yeah, base scene character. Where is overview move? View function. Void. Stop. Over. We'll do stop. Over. View. Move. Vector. We don't even need, you know, we don't even need that, but we do need to generate this. Come on. Come on. And all we're really gonna do here, right, is just set this to 0. It's just gonna stop everything. I kind of wish maybe we should do like a lerp. Let me write that down in there. Why are you giving me a headache? Is not implemented. What do you mean? Whatever. I'm gonna write in here, add stops when called, sets the velocity to 0, stopping the player, sorry for my grammar, player might want to add a lerp to slowly do this instead of abruptly doing it. Did I spell that right? Slowly do this instead of abruptly doing it. I don't know. But yeah, what we're gonna do here is we're going to stop move event. We have a stop overview movement event already. What the heckaroni? Look at me. Makes a whole entire function that's already been developed. But I don't know why this is. It's because we're not doing the stop move event, I guess, which we could really. Let's look up here. Stop move. Do you see a stop move? Stop move event. I could just do it on touch released. So. But we're going to have to do some other calls here. All I know is that we just have to go right here. Stop move event. Broadcast. And essentially in our controller, in our character, that should be pretty much it. However, I think what would work good for this scenario is to add movement enum to check. I mean, I could even do a bool. The player moving before stopping movement. And that might be good for other case scenarios in the future that I cannot foresee. Hey, Kotagi in the chat. We getting more numbers, chat looking fat. Can really help with not feeling so overwhelmed. I always feel overwhelmed too. Same. It makes me feel lazy sometimes. Hectic. Maybe, how do you get over being overwhelmed from projects? I've taken weeks off before because I look up how to do stuff and I do it and it doesn't work, so I just leave. I guess it's like rage quitting. You have to accept. You're gonna have to. The way that I get over it is accepting that it's gonna be a lot of work. You know, I went through the same thing as you did, Hectic. But I realized that like quitting isn't gonna help me achieve my dreams or achieve my mission. You know, I do this more because I love doing it. I feel like this is what God put me on this planet to do, is to make games. And I can't do that if in my head it was like that's something I can't achieve if I am not willing to put in the work, and that involves sometimes throwing away things that you've worked a very long time on. And I, praying to God I don't have to toss this out and work on another game again, because I've done it 1,000 times. But what I'm getting at, man, is you just have to accept that it's going to be a lot of work and push through it. There's going to be times where you're just stressed out of your mind because you're trying to get something done. But you also have to remind yourself that there's nothing wrong with taking 2 weeks off, taking a couple days off, and there's nothing wrong with working on your game for 30 minutes, right? Like if you get upset, take 30 minutes, get off, get back on again tomorrow for the next 30 minutes. You get upset, get off, get back on the next day. The best way to handle it is to just believe in yourself too. All right. It comes down to so many things, which is why I was kind of grunting beforehand, because there really is a lot at play, like to the demotivating factor. I think I watched a video that Pirate Software made about a feedback loop. And if the feedback loop isn't quick enough, it makes things a lot more daunting. And I really agree with what he's talking about there. I think it's a good analysis of the situation. A lot of it has to do with the feedback loop. But ultimately, what it comes down to is just perseverance and pushing forward and giving yourself a little bit of a break, not being too hard on yourself. Because at the end of the day, it's us that puts those big expectations on the project, right? It's us that gives the project that much power over ourselves. The minute we accept the project for what it is and what it can be or what it can't be, is the minute we take power back, and it makes the game development process that much easier. Sorry, I feel like I'm just like iterating, or I'm hammering in a nail at that point. the feature creep, the true combo into technical debt themselves, yeah. Definitely trying not to, but also not. Makes sense. I don't really have empty project to test stuff. I really just go with the flow, really. Like, I've restarted my current project like 5 times now, and it's finally how I like it. Now I'm on the networking stuff, and boy, am I avoiding that. Yeah, networking is hard, especially if you haven't had any experience making games in the first place, because essentially what you're going through right now is this big learning curve, right? You're not taking a little bite of game development, you're taking a huge bite out of game development, which is fine. Like, don't let anyone tell you like you can't do that. You 100% can't do that, but you just got to be realistic about what you're doing and about what you're putting on yourself, and just, you know, have patience with yourself. Like I said, have patience with the project. Have patience with the learning curve. Sometimes the best thing you can do is step away from a day or two, you know, and come back and look at the project. You know how many times, like, I thought something was good and I stepped away and came back and I was like, this looks like crap, you know, and I have to redo something. And that's just the nature of the industry that we work in. I find many people, you guys are all right, boy. Thank you. Yeah, you got to realize it's going to be difficult. It's going to be really hard. And technology it's ever expanding, so it's a constant learning curve. But, you know, I think the biggest thing, patience. Just have patience with yourself. I find many people struggle to work on their game because programming education in general focus so much more on micro design. Yeah, I don't know what he means by micro design, because I just program. Like, that's my thing. Like, I'm more interested in the end results than in the micro steps within that. Like, why do I use the F vector? I mean, there's obvious things that you learn as to why you're using an F vector, but then there's performance parts of it as well. Like, what can I do to make this less strenuous on my game? And those things are definitely skill sets I need to pick up in the future. But for me right now, it's all about laying the foundation. And I guess that's pretty bad, because if I'm going to lay a foundation, I want to make sure at least that it's a good foundation. So we'll find out what happens. But, you know, I've already accepted that there's going to be things that I possibly have to rework, that I'm going to have to delete. And I'm okay with that, man. I'm okay with it. Karakotagi, I think so too. That's why I love to focus on the macro level stuff, software engineering. Yeah, we obsess over a single feature or functions, but aren't made aware of how important our larger design works and how it will facilitate or limit our game. I agree. It's how those things build into one another. For instance, like what would happen? Let's think of something in a game. Like a major change, and I'm trying to think of Minecraft. What would happen if they just made enemies in dungeons extremely stronger? Like, how would that change the entire game? You know, it sounds simple, and you'd be like, oh, well. But it's like, you know, ask yourself that question, like, give me 3 things that would change. I would really love my game to be multiplayer, but I can easily turn it into a one-player RPG, but that's not what I really want. Yeah, I get that completely. But it's like knowing that you can do that makes it a little bit easier on your end. Like, hey, if this doesn't really work, I could backstep into this position that will still give me a result that I like. I think that's the important aspect of it too. Oh no, another call. Hold up. Be right back. They hung up. Awesome. I love that. Get to hang out here now, boys. Let's go. I get to hang out here. Let's go. As an art, what we work on are ultimately more comparable to architecture projects than any kind of book or movie, yeah. I mean, eventually these things are going to translate into movies. I mean, look at VR. People are becoming, you know, they're literally becoming the character. Yeah. By the way, guys, we've reached 100 messages today. Thank you guys for chatting and hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Thank God for all of you guys for being here. You all are really a blessing. And you just don't even recognize it. You know? If you're looking down on yourself today, I just want you to realize that you are a blessing in disguise to yourself. But yeah, I mean, you can ask anyone who's been here for a while. Hectic. I've gone through a lot of ups and downs. It's been hard, man. I've deleted a lot of things. I've redone a lot of things, and still things just aren't perfect. They're not 100% perfect. They're not the way I'd want to put them out. But, you know, I'm still adamant on trying to get that result. I feel like if I wasn't, then I would be lying to myself, you know. The reason why we are at where we are at in this world is because we strive for better. We want more, we want better, we want, you know, ease of access, stuff of that nature, you know. But it's just human nature. See you later, big old heart. Freaking biting nails. This guy's making me nervous. Making me nervous. It's been nice to stream this long. It's been a very long time since I've been able to stream like this. And it's because I don't have to drop anyone off. I don't have to pick anyone up. I'll be real with you guys. Like, that is a lot more exhausting than people would like to believe. Like, when you think of that, you're like, that's easy. No. Day after day, it's like tedious, like low brain stuff, you know. And the worst part is like you get into a creative workflow, and when you have to leave and pick someone up, it completely destroys that. It completely destroys it. It makes it really hard to focus. It makes it really hard to align yourself with the project, because, you know, you have to do that. You got to get in the workflow again after you get back. Let's see if this is stopping. Yeah, it stops. And this is just with the velocity. What happens? Yeah, we turned off the... I'd like it to be a little bit quicker. Like, the closer the person is to the screen, the quicker it is. And when we build, we still get this stuff, so we just need to fix that really weird issue we have. I'm gonna kind of want to get back into the platform world at some point, but I think I want to get into like the world building. My dev streams are usually 2 to 3 times longer than my gaming streams. Yeah, like I get so hyper focused into it. That's good though. That's good. That's a good indicator that you're becoming more of a developer than you are a gamer. I think that's a good transition, in my opinion. I'd rather be more of a developer than a gamer. It's really hard for me to sit down and play a game without thinking like, man, I should be working on my game. You know? Driving is chill. Driving with a time limit is how serial killers are made. You have 40 minutes to get to this area. Time window, yeah. Well, time windows are just... Yeah, driving is chill, but when you got a time window, you got to get back here to work on this. And, like, having my other business has been kind of hard for me, too, because this is what I love to do. And it's sad that I don't get to stream as much and don't have the energy, really, to make videos. But, you know, hopefully one day it'll pay for me to essentially invest in myself, invest in the studio, and be able to hire some external work to get the game to where I want it to be. But yeah, I mean, we're definitely moving around the map now. What, sweetie? That's your Coke, isn't it? Yeah, you put it in there. That's why they have the tops on. Watch. Hear that? That means it's still carbonated. See the bubbles? It means it's still good. Okay? You want to give Dad a hug and a kiss? Yeah? Crazy hair lady. Driving is only chill when I'm the only person on the road. Yeah, but that really depends on where you're at. You know, when you're in the back countries and you're the only person on the road, you start thinking of all these horror films that you could potentially become a part of in the next, you know, couple of hours that you're on the back road. What other businesses are you doing, if you don't mind me asking? I have a multifaceted remediation company that deals with, you know, remediation of households, and but we primarily focus on crime and trauma scene cleanup. Yeah. It's a lot of, like, talking on the phone, setting up appointments. I'm going to be going somewhere tomorrow to work on site for the first time. It's been my brother's doing like all the the remediation work, but that's because it's been far away. Tomorrow I'm gonna be driving over to an area and helping them out a bit, though, just so I can get familiar with the work. But we just started in October, really. Yes, Kotagi, you're 100% correct. But the biggest thing is that the base building aspect still has to be good enough that it makes what you do in the platform world worthwhile, right? How do those things interact with one another and affect one another, right? That's the important aspect at play here. Sorry, I'm doing that typical like game developer thing where I make something and I just gotta sit here and play with it for a while because I'm like, oh, it's working without so much effort involved. There's got to be something wrong with it. I think this can be a little bit better. I want this to lerp instead of, like, you know, just this fast change. It's kind of discombobulating. I would like there to be some a little bit more involved. But yeah, I mean, I think it's like fundamentally good. Let's try adding some warp into it though. I think you're right, Tower Kotagi, yeah. Since it seems to be the aspect you're most forced to engage with, yeah. I mean, you're forced to engage with both of them, right? Because they're both going to work off one another. But you are right, it is something that I'm going to force the players to do. But I'm hoping they'll want to do it, right? But I'm just trying to give them another reason to do it. In LA, if you don't start driving 2 seconds after the light turns people gonna be honking. Yeah, like you gotta. That's like a microsecond, actually, man. You gotta start going quick. Cleaning crime scenes is good work. Proud of my boy. Thank you. Yeah, it's good work and it's good honest work. You know, I take pride in the fact that we're able to help people transition from a horrible period in their life, you know, because you know, when someone passes away, you know, the family's left to deal with it, and we really come in and we talk to the insurance people and so on and so forth. God bless. Thank you, man. Thank you. Same to you, Accumulator. I think it's a great plan to add in depth to your game, having them gather stuff in the levels to build their world. Yeah. It makes the world multi, I want to say faceted, but it adds more depth, as you've said. And I think it's really, yeah, I'm going to really have to work hard on the platforming aspect. This aspect has been relatively easy to get together because, you know, all you do is take some cylinders, and you know, append them together and you can create a little island. We're going to try to use some procedural generation to add trees and rocks and other things of that nature around the world. Potentially I could just get vertices from these things and do that, but, you know, with that being said, there's still a lot involved that we're going to have to do. Have you seen that show, More to Heaven? No. What is it on? Prime? Is it on Prime? HBO or something? Meaning to the levels, boy. 100%. I mean, if there's not much meaning, then there's, you know, there's no point in doing it, which is why I like the procedural generation is going to have to be interesting, which is, there's some things I've thought of in specific to that, but I'll cross that road when I get there. I don't want to like overwhelm myself with too much, but you're right, the platforming aspect is going to need a lot of work. Yeah, I wanted to add lerping. I kind of want to put this on my phone and test it. I kind of want to, like, I don't know. I'm thinking of like drag, but I don't know. We'll have to test the input. It feels all right on the mouse, but like a part of me wants to be able to like, essentially if I drag this way, it'll push me this way, but that seems kind of weird. So, if we take this F vector and we plug these things in, and then we multiply everything by 2000, we're just moving essentially in that direction. Oh, pinch my lower back. You guys ever get that? Where like moving on around in your chair and like one of your back hairs gets stuck in the fabric and it gets ripped out? It's like, woo! It's not something I was planning on happening. I'm trying to think how I do this, because the way I'm doing it right now, I mean, I guess I could just put the lerp in, you know, instead of using like get character movement and changing that. That is fun to pilot, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Accumulator. I appreciate it. I put a lot of work into them, but I don't know. I'm still gonna have to. I know I'm gonna have to put more work into it. I just have a feeling. I know I'm gonna. I want to do some other things with the character as well to make it feel like he's more like was it Wonder, Mario Wonder or something? Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Where they're like facing towards the screen like this, which we don't really have at the moment, but we'll figure it out. Currently it's not the camera. What it is I have so I have a character like a capsule. So there's a capsule, like you can't see it, but there's a capsule here, right? And essentially I'm just moving that capsule and the camera's attached to the capsule. I mean, but I'm pretty proud that this is working the way I'm just a little sad it didn't work too well with the 2-tap. It's working a lot better. I want to work zooming in as well. Like we'll have to do pinch to zoom in and zoom out, but that'll come at another time. We could just let's try this dot get that location, right? And then in here we can set the location to, we'll have to make essentially f vector move location. It's just gonna be hard if we lurk. I could ask ChatGPT, but I kind of want to figure it out on my own first. Lerping will help make it feel polished. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Because right now it's too abrupt. It's like it's just like happens too quick. I could like make like a direction or like a distance where you have to go a certain amount of distance before certain things happen, which is why I already have the distance in the other, or in the controller. But let's ask ChatGPT how it would handle this. Because in my head, the issue that we're going to run into, I think it's something that's going to have to get done on the mathematical side to things, because I don't even know what I would have to do, but the issue I'm seeing is that like when we're lerping, we have like our point A, we have our point A and point B, and we're basically just moving from point A to B at a certain rate. But the issue is that A and B is going to get changed a lot. And it's like, well, what is A? It's going to be the current position. So no matter what happens, it'll make it feel clunkier is what I'm getting at if I don't do it correctly. I'm just going to do this. Mind-boggling, but you just got to separate your current code into two parts. One part moves the target, and the other part has your object move to the target position with lerp. That is mind-boggling. I could share mine when I get home. It isn't that hard to make a lerp function. Well, they have lerp. Like you could go like, what is it? You can do like f vector, and then say lerp. Or sorry, blurb. I guess you can't even do that. What is it? What is it? Fmath? And then blurb. Right? And then we can just translate between there and there, but we have to have an alpha. So what we need to do they're saying what we should do is essentially, and this is relatively easy. I mean, we just have to char character velocity equals get character movement velocity. And then they have this is why I use ChatGPT sometimes, because a lot of people figure this stuff out, and it's just like there's so many methods in libraries that you don't know of. Like, for instance, Fmath v interp to it. Right? So they already have it built in. So it's like you would add your current velocity, which is, you know, the character velocity, which I should change to current velocity. And then that makes a little bit more sense. And then we would use here they want to get the safe normal. I bet you they multiply that by 2000, which does get the job done. But we can do, and like even that I wouldn't have seen that. The only issue here is they want delta time. So I'd have to get world, and then I have to get delta the second. And, you know, here's our speed. They suggest a speed of 5. Right? But then you would, you know, put the velocity. Instead of actually moving the character, they're saying you can just say new velocity. But I'm thinking this is going to still work strange. We'll find out. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They will get there, unfortunately. Yeah, Kotagi he's got a very strong sense of things, especially when it comes to AI. Chase Lee loves AI. He's like, AI is my friend. And it actually works. You know, it's not like... We'll see how this goes, though. I think we're gonna need like some type of pull, like some type of different situation. Because, like, let's say I click here and I want to move. Like, it moves at the constant rate. It doesn't go any higher, but it's like I have to, you know, that original hit. Like, if I hit here and I go here, I'm like, oh, I want to go this way, you know? Then it goes this way. So, I don't know. You have to literally... So what I'm getting at is if I click here and move this direction, right? And then I come back this way. I have to come back to this point where I've started to even control things. So to even get a good idea, so I might make it more based off of like its position in the camera, right? I think you want to only work on the camera for the smoothing and not affect the movement system at all. Yeah. You can, I can add that too in the camera. I think just by default. I go to the main character, or not here, sorry. That's the one, we don't want that one. We want this base scene character. Where we have our character movement component and our component, camera component. Here I think we can add in like camera lag. But we'll see. Lag. We got camera lag speed, so they already have that involved. But let's look at what it does. Let's try boosting up that camera lag speed. This is set to 10, so I feel like that's pretty high already. But yeah, I don't think it'll work. If there's not something in the middle, it won't feel, I don't know. I don't think it'll feel like any different unless we have something in the middle that'll showcase that. I think it has a lot to do with the character movement itself. But I see what you're saying. And there's times where it's like, oh, yeah, see, there's just some issues I can count on right now. Like if I move back a little bit, we'll have to see how other people do it to get the best result. Not your movement system can focus on movement. Remove the lurking from the movement code though. Do you think that'll showcase it? Yeah, let's try that then. I'll just do this. Or I can actually still do that, but instead of doing that here, I just add the new direction in. And we can compile that and then throw it in, just to see what it looks like. But after that, I might dip out of here. Been streaming now, I think, what? We streamed for almost 4 or 5 hours today, I want to say. Gotta start thinking about dinner. It's 3:30 here. Let's test this out. We got camera lag now. No pressure. Well, I want to at least try it to see if it's working, because you know, at the same time, it's like I can't say no to something if I don't test it out, right? You might have be onto something really good here. I mean, you can definitely, you can sense the lerping, like when you do that, especially. But even then. Anyways, I think I'm going to cut it off from there. We got movement, at least now. tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but Wednesday, I want to try getting some trees populated in here. And that'll be interesting because we're going to try to make the trees in Houdini. Love that you're willing to try what other people suggest. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I love trying what other people have to suggest too, because at the end of the day, like, I don't know it all. I wish I did. Then I'd be done with this already. I'd already be done. But yeah, I'm going to bounce, guys. It is 3:31 here. I got to think about dinner and other stuff. So you all have a great rest of your day or night wherever you are. I highly appreciate you guys coming in here, just being absolute chads. And yeah, the company is definitely welcome. So other than that, I'm going to bounce. I will catch you guys next time here at the channel. Make sure to have a good day. Other than that, God bless. Peace out. And I'll see you later.